for this call. And can you please also select speaker view so that you just have Jeff predominantly on your screen? That would be most appreciated. If you could please send any questions that you'd like me to put to our speaker, then I'll look for themes and I'll be asking those towards the end. We've got 10 minutes left at the end. This should run from 1 till 2, although saying that, I have had the pleasure of speaking to Jeff a couple of times this month, and it's overrun somewhat. He likes to talk, got a lot to say, and a lot of it brilliant. So we'll try and keep it done by 2 o'clock. But if you could please all put yourselves on mute and press speaker view, that would be most appreciated. So it's 1 minute past 1. So if you're late, you're late. It's time to roll. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special Elite Leaders event. We've been blessed over the last 3 speakers. So finding someone that we thought could really push that up to another level was phenomenal. We had Marcus Child, who is fantastic, award-winning Vistage speaker, the incredible Roger Martin Fagg, and of course the outstanding Professor Damien Hughes. So we needed something big, something special for this one, and I've got to admit I was struggling. So luckily, up steps James Taylor, CEO of Mackledowie Recruitment and Retention Experts, who's a long-time elite member and friend, and he introduces me to today's speaker. So I jumped onto the call, and what I wanted was, over the last couple of months, if you're aware or not aware, our obsession at Elite has been around improving client retention, re-engagement, and acquisition. It's the absolute catalyst to growth and success. So who better than our speaker to bring his perspective on the subject? So our next speaker is the creator and author of Celebrity Service and Celebrity Superstars. He's challenged and inspired audiences across 44 countries to create award-winning ideas to outperform the competition. His clients include Emirates, Warner Brothers, McDonald's, and now I'm also delighted to say Elite Leaders. Forbes called him a game changer. Please give a great Elite Leaders welcome. I don't know how we do that on Zoom, but to the one and only, very, very special Jeff Rahm. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you, Sid. What a wonderful introduction. How are you? How's things?
I'm very well, Jeff. I'm very well. So, Jeff, let's get straight into it, because we both know that we like to talk. So, Jeff, we all know the importance of delivering a great client service, Jeff, but talk to us about exactly what Celebrity Service is.
Okay. For me to answer that, I'm going to have to ask everybody a question, okay? Just everybody a quick question. And you don't have to sort of unmute yourself, put your hand up and all that crazy stuff, because we've got loads of people on today. But all you have to do is go to the chat function at the bottom and put in one number. That's all you have to do, one number from your keyboard, okay? But you get to choose which number it is. So here's the question. On the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is abysmal, but 10 is incredible, what number would you give yourself right now? And you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest with yourself, with Sid, with Jeff. What number would you give yourself right now for the levels of client experience and service you are giving right at this moment in time? 1 is abysmal, where 10 is incredible. Go in the chat. Oh, look at the chat. It's going crazy. Look at this. This is like Saturday night takeaway, isn't it? So, well, look at all that. Give yourself a number. I'm going to have a quick look at the chat. Quick look at the chat. Look at this.
What eight's in there, Jeff?
7, 8, 6. We've got a 9. We've got a 9. Anoop, we've got a 9. Lisa, 5. What's going on? 5. Let's keep going. Keep going. Give it one number. Just one number. 7s, 8s. Wonderful. Sid, where's the 10s? Where's the 10s?
I just saw a 7.75, Jeff.
Oh, we're doing halves. We're doing halves. Okay, we've got an 8. Mark Foster, well done. We've got an 8. Can anybody beat Mark? Come on, this has turned into sort of Racing Sunday now. Come on, anybody? 7. Okay, that's good. That's good. Sid, this is a question I ask any audience, whether it's online, virtual, whether it's in person. It's a question that I always ask. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? The vast majority of the world, across any brand, any sector, will say 7 and 8. So everybody give yourself a round of applause. You are the global average. And if anybody decides to applaud themselves for being the global average, then this isn't the place for you. You don't set up in business, have a brand, have a wonderful recruitment business to go, yeah, we're the same as everybody else. We're pretty good. It's a question that I ask. Now, there are never ones, twos, or threes, because that's an instant P45 and you've got to leave. There's always a few 4s and 5s, and I saw those. 6s, yeah, quite. 7s and 8s are always the premium. There's a handful of 9s, and we'll get 1 or 2 10s. If we did this an in-person event, that would be the show of hands. We've just had it on the chat, Sid. What people are saying to us right now across elite leaders is, Jeff, I'm pretty good. But there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement for a greater client experience. And I get that. Thank you very much for your honesty. But where are you going to get that improvement? You're not going to get it from what you've read, what you've heard, what you've seen, and what you've listened to for the last 4 decades. Because if you go to any customer service book, if you go to a training course, or see a customer service speaker, or a manual, flick through the manual, there's only 2 things. There is only 2 things that every speaker, trainer, book, manual will tell you for your recruitment business to be the standout in the sector in 2021 and beyond. There's only 2 things. The first is this: you must always go the extra mile. I mean, try this with your team, right? Straight after this hour, go to your team, right? Get them on a Teams call, or meet them in a park, one person on a bench with a coffee, apparently. Get them all together and say, right, from today, we're going to go the extra mile. See how far that inspires the team, right? Just see how far that gets you. The second one is quite interesting as well. The second one, they always say, is you must always exceed expectations. Well, whose expectations? They're all different. There's nothing new in the world of customer service for the last 4 decades, but I think I found something. It's called celebrity service. And celebrity service is a philosophy. The philosophy is a question, and it's a question that I'm going to give everybody now, because as soon as I ask this, your minds will just race into ideas. When you ask this as a leader to your teams, their minds will race, and this is when we capture the ideas, because this will be the gap in the service that you don't realize exists, and this is how you can fill it. So it's called celebrity service, and this is the question, which is the philosophy. If your next potential client were to tweet, email, walk through your doors, pick up the phone, become your next potential client, if they were an A-list, celebrity, Hollywood, god or goddess, what would you say? What would you do? How would you react? What would you wear? What would be the difference? How quickly would it take you to respond to that inquiry? What would you put in the proposal document? What would be the difference? Sid, we're from .com company. We want to come and see you on Monday. We've got all these positions we want to fill, and you're thinking, wow. And you would have the meeting, and there would be tea and coffee, and everything would be good. But if that person were George Clooney, Cameron Diaz, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, I'm talking A-list, and they were going to come and see you, they were going to be your next client, what would be the difference? And the difference is the gap in your service you don't realize exists. Right now, across the board at Elite, and we've got the chat, we've got all of those figures, we're 7s and 8s. But if George Clooney were to become your next client, your service levels go to there. And that's the gap. That is the gap. It's a question that questions of philosophy. It's called celebrity service. But how do you fill that gap? Because it's not just a question, otherwise this would be a really short session, Sid. We could actually go for an early lunch. Celebrity stands for consistency, excitement, love, engagement, bravado, response, independence, thank you, and you and your team. And if you were to look at these 9 components within yourself, within your department, within your business, you would completely outperform, outdeliver, and outserve any other recruitment business in your sector. And that's a promise with the clients I've worked with over the years, to inspire them to come up with the ideas, to think differently, to think clever, to think cost effectively. the results are quite staggering. And that's the bit that excites me. The results of what somebody could achieve after 1 hour with Sid and Jeff. So that is celebrity service. We've got the numbers. And for those of you who said 7, what is it going to take you to get to 8? What will it take you to get to a 9? We're going to cover some of that today.
Jeff, on that point then, I love the philosophy of celebrity service being the gap between what you do now and what you do in the future. And you know what? We've all seen this when you work, all the big bosses coming down today to the office. Everyone raises their game. So yeah, we have seen that. It doesn't have to be George Clooney. So I love the philosophy of celebrity service. But Jeff, in your opinion, what is the difference between good and great?
Okay, there's always a difference. There's always a different levels. You've just mentioned it, with the big boss coming. It doesn't even have to be George or Brad. The big bosses coming. I've got it in the first book. I put it in one of the very first pages. It's just one of the greatest lines from one of the greatest comedians in the world, Billy Connolly. His greatest line that I've ever come across. He said, "The Queen thinks the world smells of paint." 10 meters in front of her, wherever she goes, somebody's painting the railings, making sure the scratches in the wall. It's just beautiful. But yeah, okay, so good, great. There's always a difference. Okay. Now we've all heard and we've read the stories, we've read the blogs, we've some wonderful, how do you get from good to great? And I have these conversations on client briefings. Jeff, we're good. We're 7.
Mate, I can't get onto profile. I was wondering if you could help me get in. It's logged me out. It's not letting me have access.
It's not celebrity service.
Now that's Nick. He's important. He's named himself twice. It could be Nick Kamen for those 80 people in the room. But shall I go back to you? Are you there, Sid? Are you there, sir?
I'm right here, Jeff.
Oh, you're a good man. So there's all I talk about sort of good to great, and I get clients saying, "Jeff, we're good. We just want to get to great." And I always say, forget great. Go from good, bypass great, and go straight to celebrity. They said, "What?" I said, "There's a difference. There's a difference." One of the best examples I'm going to show everybody today, and it still makes me smile. And it smiles because the results that this person created as a part of this result. So Haley and I, my wife and I, every sort of twice a year, we go to see our accountant in County Durham, Stephen Paul, Valued Accountancy, brilliant guy. He's a friend more than an accountant nowadays. So we've been with him for about 3 years. Twice a year, we go up to see him in his office. We have the morning off. We go up and we talk about the books and what's the plans for next year and all that type of stuff, as you do with an accountant. And you arrive and, hugs and kisses. Remember those days? Hugs and kisses. Oh. And then we sit down in his office. And he says, first question is, can I get you a tea, coffee? What would you like? And I'll say, I'll have a coffee. And he'll say, I'll have a cup of tea. And then 3 or 4 minutes later, tea and coffee arrives. And that's good. You offer a service like tea and coffee, little things like little facilities. That is good. That's good service. But for about 2.5 years, right, it used to do my head in, right? So the mugs, the teas, the coffees used to arrive. And have you ever been to a car boot sale, Sid? Anybody been to a car boot sale? And there's always 2 or 3 cars in the car boot sale have got a great big brown box full of mugs of different shapes, different sizes, colours. You don't know where they've come from, and they normally sell them for about 3 pence each, right? Or 10 for 5 pence, right? They just want rid of all these mugs. And it's as if, and it's as if he's sort of gone along and bought all of the mugs and thought, this'll do. The coffee and tea is good, but simply these little things that were served in, I was like, oh, come on. This brand is wonderful. You win awards. Look at all the letters after your name. Come on. But I never said anything until one of the last meetings we had. And towards the end, he turned to me and he said, we're shaking hands. We'd finished the books, ready for the next year. He said, Jeff, just wanted to ask you a question. I said, yeah, go for it. He said, I'm just looking to bring a bit more celebrity service because he's bought the books. He's sending them to clients. He's been to some of my events. He said, I want to bring a bit more celebrity service into the sort of the initial part of when somebody comes to see us. New clients, but also existing clients. That initial first impressions. have you got any ideas? And Hayley just kicked me under the table. She went, shut up. Don't mention the mugs. And I said, yes, actually, I've got an idea for you. And he said, what's that? I said, your mugs. What's this? I mean, you know, one time he gave me a mug, a Newcastle United mug. I'm a Sunderland fan. I mean, what's going on? I said, the mug. I said, this isn't you. And he went, oh. He says, I never saw it. I said, oh, right. He said, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get rid of all of these and I'm going to get some branded mugs. I said, that would be great. You've gone from good to great. I said, bypass great. He said, what do you mean? I said, you know we're coming. He said, yeah. I said, you know when? Yeah. I said, you know our names. And I said, if it's a new client, you get to know who's coming. And I said, we've been with you for 2.5 years. You know who we are. He said, yeah. I said, use it. Use that nugget of information. And I said, because if you were to do this to every new client, you blow them away because they're also looking at another 3 accountants that they could potentially use. And I said, you've got established clients. You don't want them to leave. You want to retain them for the next year. So we went with the idea that I came up with that day. That is what great looks like. And have you seen what it says? Putting you first. But then we turned it into a celebrity service moment. That is what good looks like, tea and coffee. And I tell you what, just about everybody on this call today are doing that. Brilliant. Some of you might have gone great. Some of you might have branded up your logos, but that's about you. Nothing about the client. And I said, just a quick tip for you, Stephen. I said, when you do this, when you get the tea and coffee, I said, this only costs you a couple extra pounds. Dear me, you're making thousands. You're on every client. I said, don't just say, there you go, and freak them out. Bit weird. Just casually put them down and let the client notice their name. I said, that's an Instagrammable moment. I want people to talk about you the world over for something that you did to their mug that they were never expecting. And that's it, is good to great, but back to celebrity. That's what it looks like.
Jeff, on that point and putting you on the spot, what have you done over the last year where you've delivered celebrity service to your clients?
I'm glad you put the second bit of question there, because I was just going to say drink. What have you done this last year? Drink, really, and go for a Boris walk. Yeah, quite extraordinary, let's be honest. The elephant in the room has been very extraordinary this past year. The first thing I did, okay, there's quite a few things I did. Okay, I'm just going to fire them out at you because I hope that everybody's been doing this or doing more or their own versions of what I've been doing. First thing I did, Sid, was reach out. I reached out to every client, not potential clients, not clients that might have worked, could work with in the future, existing clients. I went back to them and I said, look, I don't know how I can help, but I'm here. Pick up the phone, send me an email. I don't know what I can do. Maybe I can do some videos for your team to uplift the spirits. Maybe I can and just let me know. Let me know. I don't know. And this is almost before Zoom. This is when it was all kicking off. First thing I did, and I'll come back to this later on, within a sort of a week of lockdown, and you could see everything happening, I sent a postcard out. Now, for anybody within the age of 30, this is a postcard, right? You can't download it, and you can't. It's not in the cloud. It's an actual physical card. But I put great stories on the back, and I handwrite every single one, and I handwrote every a postcard for every one of my clients. So I'm supporting my clients, saying, what a great idea this is. But at the bottom there, I said, these are unpredictable times we're living in right now. If there's any way I can help or support you, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Right? So I reached out and I said, look, I'm here to support. It's the first thing I did. Very soon after that, I produced a series of videos called Welcome Back videos. Yeah. Welcome back. Because when we're coming out of lockdown, when things were starting to lift a bit and you could go and get your hair cut and stuff like that, I was saying to people, use this time you've got on now in furlough or, in limbo land. Use this time now to create the ideas to welcome back your clients when we're allowed back out. So I created this welcome back strategy. I think there's about 5 videos, but I produced those, put them on YouTube for the whole world to see, but I sent them to my clients first. I said, look, if these videos help you, go for it. And I recorded them as I have done in my home office. So that's the first thing I did was reach out, support the videos. We had global customer service week not so long ago, sort of back end of last year. And it should never be a week. But everybody's got a pancake day and global service week and Easter, but it's a week. So what I did is I had a top idea for you and your team that I put on LinkedIn every day for the following day. But my clients got those 3 weeks beforehand. I said, just to plan and prep, if you're doing anything, I said, here, and it wasn't costing me anything, videos and things like this. It was time. But I was saying to my clients, I'm here for you. You know where I am, and here's a bit more support. Take it or leave it, but here's some more support. One of the most memorable things I did last year, and I did the first one with somebody who you know well, Nigel Risner. And Nigel and I, we did a charity event for a charity called Grace House in the Northeast. This is very early days, Sid. So the children of Grace House couldn't get into Grace House. They were special needs. And so they're at home. And it's the last place they want to be. They want to be at Grace House with the support and everything that they've got there. But they just couldn't do it. So Nigel and I did a charity event. We spent 3 hours on a Friday afternoon when it was really hot outside. 3 hours giving tips and ideas and stories. We didn't charge anything. It was all free. But what we did is we put out across social media that donate £1, a penny, 100, whatever it's worth to you, to the business community. We raised a few thousand. It's still ongoing because a lot of people sort of £20 a month recurring, so it might never stop. But it was the greatest thing we'd ever done in a time of the biggest need, I suppose. We weren't sort of Colonel Tom here, but it was the little things that we could do. And what the charity did is they bought with the money, the couple of grand, they brought VR headsets, sent them to all the children's homes so the children could still be in Grace House. Just marvelous. The other thing, I reached out to clients in Australia. A big client that I work with, I said, what are you doing to support your charities? They said, nothing. I said, well, you can. And she says, we can't. I said, you can. I says, I've just done this for Grace House. Why don't we do this for you? And at 3-4 in the morning, I did an hour's talk for my client in Australia, going out to all financial planners across the Southern Hemisphere. We raised about £6,000 and for Rural Aid, who were hit with the fires and all the stuff that's gone on. So those things are wonderful, actually wonderful. Are you ready for the crazy one, Sid? Here's the crazy one. So every year, every client who's booked me to speak, every year, come November into December, I send them a gift. Okay. Now the gift over the last sort of 7-8 years, and my daughter helps us with this, is a great big box of chocolates, right? Now it's not one of those you can go online, press a button, and it's like the hamper's there. No. We go to the supermarket and we fill it full of all of the fun stuff you used to love as a kid, selection boxes and all that type of stuff. And we fill it, and I put a card in there, handwritten card, and I send these boxes all over the world to my clients. And all it is, it's a case of saying, thank you for the business this year. I appreciate it. Please share these chocolates with the team. And honestly, the lift with social media especially goes crazy. I know it's landed because Instagram goes mad, right? So I've been doing that every year for 18 years in business, 12 as a speaker. Things changed last year. Everything was upside down. And my initial help and support for the first 2 or 3 months was great. But it got to sort of month 4, Sid, and people needed smiles on faces. Just needed a smile on face. You could see people were just a bit of a downward spiral. So I picked up the phone and I've got his number. And I said, Santa. He said, what? I said, are you busy? He went, no, I just work one day a year. I said, can you come out to semi-retirement? He said, what are you on about? I said, I need to bring Christmas forwards by 6 months. So I did this in the height of summer. I did the same thing. I put together great big chocolate hampers, but I sent them out to clients who booked me. But also I went back to my database and I thought, look at these hospitality, hotels, aviation. So many businesses are grounded, but I sent them boxes as well to say, thinking of you, hope you can share this with your team at some point. It also had a card. I'll show you the card because I was really chuffed with the card. This was the idea I had. As you can see, we've got a Santa hat, but remember it's summer. It's actually an ice cream. And as you open it, so I leave this side blank because I write in it. This year, everything is turned upside down. It's not easy to keep track of the day, month, or season. With this in mind, I'm bringing Christmas forwards. I created Merry Summermas. That's all I did. When our back's against the wall, we've got to think client first. What can we do to put a smile on their face? That was my overriding strategy of 2020. My clients come first. What can I do? Now, they may book me in future. I don't know. They may think of me in future. I don't know. But we're in control of what we do for clients. Don't forget that. Don't wait for a competitor to think of something, because I pretty much know not many speakers did much for their clients, because if they did, they'd be talking about it. You're in control. What can you do? There's lots of things said, but those are 4 or 5 ideas I wanted to share with you today.
Yeah, quick one for you, right? So look, we're all about ROI, doing the right thing. As an industry, we're not great at client retention. I think we're behind many industries. What can everyone do right now? Simple things that they can do right now to create this celebrity service moments that will last for months, years, decades. What are your 3 top? Do this.
Okay.
Keep more clients.
I mean, it's a question that we need a bit of an exam here, don't we? I mean, why are people not coming back? Why is retention so low? Why is our retention? I mean, why would somebody leave you? If you're delivering a great service and you've delivered a great person into their business, there's no reason for them to leave you. It's often like relationships, isn't it? I mean, one night stands are great for some people, but the instant joy might, is a lifetime of just misery, but you want that love and relationship. You want to develop something. It amazes me this, and I hear it across a couple of industries, actually, we just let people go. And I say, why? Do you not speak to them? You know, talk to them? What do you send them? And I've said, especially now, Sid, clients will remember what we said and what we sent in this time. So what have you said to them and what have you sent? Silence will kill any business. It truly will. I mean, you may as well send out horrible marketing and try and get more and more business and more money out of people's pockets than silence. But there's so many things you can do. There's so many things anybody can do. And I'll tell you what, there are hundreds upon hundreds of celebrity service touch points within any business. Initial inquiry, answer machine message, the follow-up, every single piece of communication, every single piece. From start, middle to end, there are hundreds. All you have to do is take 1 or 2 of these from this day and say, right, can we give that a bit of celebrity service treatment? And you start to create a different culture. Let's get that retention up. People should never leave you. If people are leaving you to go to a recruitment business, what is going on? If you want to live like that, fine, but life's too short to look for.
Jeff, when we spoke first, you said something which intrigued me, actually. And given that, I myself have put together and helped people put so many budgets together over the years, and you said to me, how many of your clients have got a budget line that says client retention? You know, and I just thought, shit, you know, what we do always see is client entertainment, yeah, which basically, you know, I think it's from the 80s or 90s. It just means let's take you out and get drunk, right? And when you talked about sponsoring events with them, co-hosting events with them, I did just think to myself, I don't know anyone who has got a line in their budget that is about saying thank you, you know, or doing something for the client. I thought, can you expand on that? I thought that was fantastic.
My accountant, and it wasn't Stephen, it was even the person before him, who said, "What's this?" Every year, it was a column in my P&L that said Christmas, and they said, "But you're only a one-man band. What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe I'll be here in 18 years' time. Who knows?" There's a column missing. We've mentioned this. There's a column. Everybody here has got a CRM system. Don't kid yourself that it's customer relationship, right? It's a fallacy. It's rubbish, right? What it is, it's a marketing database that you just ping and get some stuff out, right? Newsletter, quarterly, whatever it is, right? There is one column missing from everybody's CRM system, and if you can fill, you instantly can create celebrity service, but it's a choice. So you can insert a column right now as soon as we finish this call. It's called loves. What does that client love? Cricket, theatre, pets, holidays. What is it they love? What is it? We all have passions, hobbies, interests. And if you've not found this out from your clients when you've been working with them for how many years, then we find out from today. You know, what is it they love? What do they like? It's not just a sport, but maybe it's a team. Because these are conversations that you have. You just don't talk business. You get to know people. And this is about people to people. So there's a column called loves. And all you have to do within your recruitment business is populate that with 1 or 2 words. And you can create magic. Magic. Right, now. So what can people do, okay? This might sound a bit strange, but excitement. Create a bit of excitement. That's the first thing I would say. People, what do you mean excitement? I'm not on about telling jokes in a lift or juggling as they arrive, or look at creating a bit of excitement. Excitement is smile on face. Smile on face. Let me share with you just a couple of stories, just a couple of ideas I want to share with you now. Can you see that? Okay, Sid?
Yep, all good.
Yep. You got the celebrity service, yeah? You've got that?
Yep.
Okay. You can now see the word excitement.
Yep.
That's good. That's good. So when you get to find out what your client loves, you can use this, right? Now you can spend money and you can spend next to nothing. It's up to you. Now, for those eagle-eyed people on the call today, you'll notice I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan, right? So if you just look behind me, these are all sort of signatures, autographs from some of the actors and actresses from the Star Wars movie. So I'm a bit of a fan, okay? And I wonder if I came to your office. I wonder if I'm a client and I come to your recruitment business. And I wonder if you knew this about me. I wonder if you found this about me on the chat that we have had or on an email. Or guess what? You just have to go on my profiles on social media and you'll find things that I share, okay? Bit of research. When you get to know this, you can create some excitement, some real magic. So I went to a training organization. I was going to speak for their teams. And I went down to the briefing. The company's called Profound Services, Profound Training Services. I went down. Now, here's another one for you. Good, great celebrity. If you've got a car park for your clients, that's good. If you've saved them a space, that's great. But there's always another level. It's called celebrity service. I pulled up to Profound Services and I was blown away. This is what they'd done. Sid, it's 2 pieces of paper printed and put in a sandwich board. That is it. This is what it looks like, right? This is just what it looks like. When you know about somebody, create something very, very special. One of my clients is Village Hotels, okay? Village Hotels. And I went to a conference down in Portsmouth. It wasn't for them. the conference. And the conference wasn't held in the Portsmouth Village Hotel. It was a mile down the road. The client, my other client, had put me in a village hotel, which just happened to be my client. I got there at 10 to 12 at night. It was the late flight, flyby flight from Newcastle to Southampton. 10 to 12, I got to my room. And along the corridor, I could see my room. I couldn't see the number on the door, but stuck on the actual door itself was this. Now, it was a bit of a surprise. When I walked in, there on the bed, I'll have to explain this one. There on the bed, are you ready for this, Sid? You ready? Was a cushion. Check it out. Not just me. My wife. Our son. And Grace got one too. You see the difference? So you have something like this that costs nothing, just a bit of print, but it's all about the thought. Or you've got something like this. Your clients are coming to see you. How can we make that greatest impression? So excitement is one. Fill in that column. It will reap. It will reap incredible retention. And that's all I'll say. Another tip, another idea for you. Okay, response. And I've been talking about this technique for many years. The motor industry have nailed it. So many of us haven't. You may have seen this, but I need to show you it today because it's something very different. This costs nothing, means the world. Cost nothing means the world. How do we respond to a client inquiry? Could be a candidate, but look, let's look at clients for today. How do we respond? What could we do? Somebody emails you, you email them back. Somebody phones you, leaves a message, you phone them back. We always mirror the response of communication. It's what we do. I want to challenge everybody today to think when their next inquiry comes in, how could we reply? How could we respond in a greater personalized way? I got a call from a place called Rugby Hall. And they said, Jeff, we've just seen your talk. We would love for you to come down and work with us. And I said, oh, fantastic. How many staff have you got? And they've got half a dozen. And I said, do you want me to do a talk? They said, no, we just want 2 hours of your time. We want to bring celebrity service to Rugby Hall. And I said, right. I said, okay. I said, so what sort of business are you? And they said, have you seen Downton Abbey? And I said, yeah. They said, we're like a mini Downton Abbey. With a small place, beautiful in the North Yorkshire moors. It's a private place, but you can book it for weddings and parties. Honestly, Sid, it is stunning, absolutely stunning. So I pull up in the car one day, I walk across the Shale and I get to the clearing and I see Carla and the team and we sit down. And I said, so how can I help? Because this is stunning. You don't need to sell this. This is brilliant. They said, well, you get all these inquiries from would-be future bride and grooms. And I said, right. I said, so what sort of inquiries? I said, well, they ask, have you got any rates and packages and availability? So it's the basic stuff. And I said, and how do you respond? And they said, we reply on email within 48 hours. I said, what? I said, what with? And then you see the response. Dear Sid, thank you very much for inquiring. Blah, 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 blah. We've attached a PDF. And all this wonderful stuff. And I looked at this and I said, never, ever, ever email back in this way again. I said, what do you mean? I said, they're going to spend thousands with you. As recruitment businesses, people are going to be spending thousands with you. Okay? This isn't a few pence, thousands. And I said, it's their biggest ever day. I said, also they're looking at 4 or 5 of the venues in a 20-mile radius. You've got to be the one that stands out. They said, well, what do you suggest? I said, give us your phone. Give us your phone. And I said, in here, cost nothing, means the world, is instant personalized video messages. I said, if you were to do this, you will blow that future bride and groom away. Imagine doing this and your competitors have yet to even thought about this idea. So I did a quick 30-second version, and Carla said, I can do that. I can do that. I said, I know you could. And they do this now for every single inquiry. This is what she sent. It is 1 minute long. See what you think. And by the way, it's not branded. Don't have to brand it. It's an idea from there, coming out of there, but it's from the heart. Check this out.
Hi, Becky and Ben. My name's Carla and I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager here at Rugby Hall. I just thought I'd pop you a quick message to say hello and congratulate you on your engagement. I know you mentioned you were looking at the 6th of October 2022 for your wedding here at Rugby Hall. We do have that date available, so that's fantastic news, but we unfortunately don't have our prices confirmed to that year yet, but I will send you the 2020 prices so you get a little bit of an indication on what they cost. Now I just thought I'd give you a sneak peek today to show you what you can expect at Rugby Hall. So this is the Lady Amelia Bridal Suite. So this is where you will be staying on the night of your wedding. And the sunset this evening is just absolutely stunning. The colours are phenomenal in that sky. There's a gorgeous little day bed outside for you to sit and have a drink whilst you see the gorgeous sunset over the North Yorkshire moors. So I do hope you'd like to come and see us. So please do let me know if you've got any questions or if you want to schedule a viewing. Thank you.
What do you think of that, Sid?
Bit better than an email.
There's nothing stopping anybody here right now. Now, I need to make a couple of suggestions, okay? A bit of advice on this, okay? Don't do it more than once, twice at a push. But don't do it any more than once for one client. So on your database of loves and all that type of stuff, just put on there, yes, they've had a video, right? Don't be the recruitment agency, right, who every Monday at 11 o'clock sends out a personalized video to me, because after about 3 weeks, you're going to start freaking me out because my email is going to go ping, and somebody's going, who's that? Oh, it's Sid again. What does he want? I don't know. He keeps sending these videos. It's getting a bit weird. Just do it the once. You might want to do it to congratulate a client for winning an award. You might want to do it to just like what I did in the last year, to reach out and support and say, anything you need, give us a shout. You might want to send them to say, look, this person's starting with you tomorrow. We just want to say thank you very much for using us. We appreciate the business. Let me know how tomorrow goes, and anything you need from me, just give me a call. And do you know what? The passion and the enthusiasm in our eyes and our mouth will always, always supersede the written word. Now, the written word's great. Postcards and cards, that's wonderful. But let's think differently. So this costs nothing means the world. Sid, come on, I'm going to ask you a question now. What would be, as an average, I know this is a bit crazy, what would be the average, we talk about retention, what would be the average commission for an average job, for an average recruitment agency with elite leaders right now? What would be the amount? What would be the amount? Yes.
I think the average that we invoice a client in terms of fees is around 15 to 20,000 a year.
Okay. Let's go crazy. Let's go 20. Okay. £20,000 fee come in, and you're worth it. Bit L'Oreal there, but you're worth it. 20 grand. Well done. What would you spend to keep that person thinking you're the greatest person on earth for delivering a client experience? What do you think you would spend? What would you invest? How much? Have a guess. You would spend big. Well, this costs nothing, but I am going to freak a few financial people out. If there's any financial people on the call today from your recruitment agency, they go, oh, hang on a second, Jeff, this will cost money. I don't care, right? I want your recruitment business to be the one that is talked about. Because if nobody's talking about you, you're not delivering an experience worth being talked about. It stops from today, right? So this is free. Maybe you could spend £30, 40, maybe, push the board out, £73. One of my clients is MetLife Financial and Insurance Services down in Australia. And I've done some seminars and events for their team. over the last sort of few months, they also know what I love. And I received a video. Okay, now we've all seen this. You've all seen this on your phones, and you've all been to the website, and you've all had a bit of a look, and you're thinking about your uncle's birthday, your daughter, your son, your father, your mother, your partner. Have you ever thought about doing this for a client? This is what I received.
Hi, Jeff. It's Jonas Sotomo here. I play Chewbacca in the Star Wars films. Christina Huang and Noel Lord wanted me to give you this video shout out to say a big...
The video is 3 minutes long from the gentleman who played Chewbacca in the latest movies. I almost cried, Sid, on a Sunday night when I received this from MetLife. Just outstanding. Now, if you know something about your client, you can go to these various websites, Cameo and various other ones, other people who are available. You could create something really magical for 50 quid. Just have to do it once. But that person will remember you for weeks, months, and years. These are just some of the things. Now, that's very much technology, and you can do that. You can go back to, and I mentioned this before, but the first thing I did, I send postcards. I send postcards. Of all the great stories that I talk about, I send postcards all over the world. It takes forever to sign. It costs a fortune in stamps, which the price goes up every minute. But I need to stand out. I need to stand out from other speakers who are sending, the emails and the stuff online. I need to stand out. Nothing's coming in our letterboxes anymore. Maybe it's time to go the other way, do something different. Just a couple of quick ones with regards to recruitment. I've worked with a few recruitment businesses over the years, working with their teams, we're even 6 to 30 deep, just small teams, and going to see them and having 2-3 hour sessions and really drilling down. And I had a wonderful experience with the team at Sphere Digital Recruitment in London. And it was a while ago now, and completely random out the blue, they sent me this. It was all of the team. They got to get themselves together and had "Thank you, Jeff." But they didn't just send me this. They created it, sent it to themselves, so they could write from every member of the team. Let me tell you, Sid, nobody ever gets rid of these materials. Not when it's got your name on it. Not when it's a little bit different. This is how we stand out in the marketplace. Let me just stop that the slide share. We'll stop that, and we'll come back to yourself. So those are some ideas. That's some of the things we can do straight away. Keep in touch. Do something different, virtually, physically, but always bear in mind that if this were a celebrity, an A-list, what would we say? What would we do? Those are just, it's a tiny fragment. I mean, we talk about the times we're in. One of a big event I did for driver hire recruitment. You'll have come across the teams across the country. And just a couple of hours session on celebrity service, and I got an email from one of the team a few weeks later, and they'd already planned their ideas for Valentine's, and they said normally we send Valentine's chocolates, to the client, but we didn't this time. We looked at different members of the team, people on the front desk and all the rest of it. And this email was lovely. I'll keep it private. But this person said, we've just got on an order list from somebody who never knew us before. Now they do, because we sent them something a little bit different. It's been worth over £50,000 in our business. I'm here because of results. I love sharing stories, love sharing ideas, but it's the results of what people go on to achieve when they embrace celebrity service, when they see the talks, when they watch the videos, when they read the books. This is a game changer. Forbes said it a few years ago, which I was gobsmacked with. But look at every touch point. Give it the celebrity service treatment. Challenge your teams. Get them in a room, and how do we create this? and I'm always here to help, Sid. Always here to help you. So that is celebrity service, and those are just a few ideas for you for today.
Jeff, I really appreciate that. I've just had a question come through.
Yeah.
How do you stay current, right? So look, we've got a number of people that I can see on the screen today that are really brilliant, you know, and create great content from a video perspective.
Yeah.
But soon then everyone will be doing it. How do you stand out? How do you make sure that, you know, you're staying current, you're staying ahead of the pack, you're not just doing it for the hell of it?
Yeah, okay. My biggest tip for this, never ever look at what another recruitment agency's doing, because all your websites look the same. You know, and, you know, regurgitated branding and marketing with your color and your face on it. Look outside of your industry. Now, I capture everything. So, you know, you might not think that toy shop, that Hamley's toy shop, has anything to offer a recruitment agency. You might not think, you know, that Emirates flight or the local bin man who said something to you. What you need to do, Sid, you talk about being current. Current is about looking what inspires us, looking what put a smile on our face. Look at what either an email you receive or a text message or a conversation that you have and go, bloody hell, that was brilliant. Wow. Now, what we do and what we've always done is, wow, that's great. You might tell your partner, you might tell a member of the team, and it just fizzled out. No. Somewhere in your office, and I can see a few nice offices right now, somewhere in your offices, take down those motivational posters, right? You're not going to climb the mountain, right? Just get rid of it. If you've got, I hope you haven't got a mountaineer and speaker on next, but just take it down, right? And fill it. Call it a celebrity service wall, right? We've all got these things called walls. And fill it. Capture all of the great people doing great things. And you stick, you know, a little post-it, right? What they did, what they said. Print things out and stick it on the wall as a permanent visual reminder of what amazing experience and service looks like. Now, every month, you and your team sit in front of the wall and you have 30 minutes to create celebrity service experience ideas. I've got all the tools and techniques I can give you for this, but that's the ultimate thing I can say is stop looking at the competition and what they're doing, because all you'll do is create a revamped, regurgitated spin on it. Look outside of your industry because the answers are everywhere. I promise you. You know, they are everywhere. I mean, every story I tell, in my portfolio, in the books, on YouTube, it's industries and sectors from four corners of the earth, and you don't have to. Sorry,
Jeff. What industries do you think that recruitment, you know, can learn most from? So we're obviously services. Yeah. What do you think we can learn most from? Who are leading edge on this kind of thing?
Okay, it's not controversial, but it might not be the answer you were thinking. I don't think it's a sector. I don't think it's an industry. It's the person within it. It's the person within it. You know, one of my favorite stories is about Elliot's Magic Ticket that I tell on a train. Now, not everybody delivers the same service as the lady that did that day. It's always the one person in one industry, one sector. Learn from the people rather than the brand. That's what I would say, because, you know, it's always the people. It's the people that will inspire us as humans to go, I want to be like that. I wish I could have said that. I wish my team was similar in that vein, in that manner, how they come across. So,
Jeff, what industries do you know or work with where they reward quality of service as much as fees? Because obviously we reward fees.
Yeah.
But we don't perhaps, you know, we don't reward service as much as we should. Do you know certain industries where they do focus on the service as much as they do the invoice?
Yeah. Maybe it's not as much as the invoice, but pretty damn good for I would say certainly the hospitality industry. Some of the brands I've worked with, I mentioned Village before. I think Voco. Some of you may have come across the Voco brand. I've worked with them since they started. They've got a millionaire challenge, and it's based on service, and they get £1 million to spend throughout whatever the team want to spend on. But it's the individuals, the teams, and the hotels, as well as the regions, that are in for this. Yes, it's friendly competition, but there's some serious, dare I say, prizes to be won. But that's purely based on service. Purely based on service. Those are two brands in one sector that I see are exceptionally good.
Jeff, what have you tried that hasn't worked? How have you arrived at this?
Who's asked that? Somebody asked that question, Sid. It was going on positive.
I have to step in occasionally, Jeff. Jeff, look, your book of tricks is something that you learn along the way, right? Give us a couple of things to avoid, should we say? What hasn't worked?
Oh God. In what way, Sid? I've got to ask you. What do you mean? What sort of things that I've said to clients and
No, stuff that people think, oh, that'll work, when it just doesn't. Sending out your mouse mats in the post, or sending people a bottle of champagne, the old tried and tested that might not work.
I think I honestly think the worst faux pas, the things that don't work for me personally, and it might be different to everybody on here, but for me, it's the biggest bugbear. It's those organizations, people, or brands who have thought they were being clever by, mail merging, and the same email that you got, or the same communication that you got, is the same that I've got. It's the same letter that Tara's got, Ricky's got, Kevin's got. It's the same.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so you pressed a button and got my name as a mail merge, and this is ancient, but it's still going on to this day. Going on to this day. There's a lack of respect. There's an E, the E word here is, it's not e-marketing, it's easy. We can press a button and we'll make something happen. And if there's a churn, and there's a don't care attitude as well, because all of a sudden it's a bit like email, it's a bit like all of the emails I get from organizations. I've bought from you once and now I'm on your database, and there's instant disrespect that I wanted to read 3 offers from you within 24 hours of buying. You might think that it's this is the time. Oh, Jeff's in a high spirits and he's bought from us and he's very happy. He must want to buy another. No, shut up. I've just got in. And there's times when myself, the family, we just unsubscribe to stuff that could have been good. But I think there's that, we want the money, Sid. We've got the money. Jeff, we want some more money, Sid. And I'm going to keep and I've just unsubscribed. And then that excuse the French, bloody, we're sorry to see you leave. I've already been here for 2 minutes. You made me leave. There's that falseness that I come across. I'm sorry, I get a bit angry. Hang on. There's that hiding behind selling, and we think it's service. Spend the time, take the time. And if you haven't got time to create a box of goodies to send your client, if you haven't got time to write a postcard, or you haven't got that 2 minutes or 1 minute like Carla did to create that video, if you haven't got the 20 minutes to go around Cameo and find out, different footballers or reality TV stars that the client will, if you don't have time, then just you can leave this call, really, I suppose. Just crack on. I mean, if 40-50% retention's good and wonderful, but I wonder what would happen if we did just a couple of things differently. Just make a start. I wonder what those figures could be like, because if one of these ideas can result in 20,000 extra, and it's not just that 20,000, it's people.
We spoke about this before, Jeff. There's a quote, from Bain and Co. that says, 5% client retention, an additional 5% client retention can become 25% increased, profitability, which is fantastic, and look, guys, on that point, it's 1:59, so we are drawing towards the end here. These are just snippets of what, is available from Jeff. Jeff, it was an honor and a pleasure getting to know you and having you with us today. So from myself, Elite Leaders, and our guests, an absolutely huge thank you. And guys, Jeff sent me this in the post, assuming I could read, and obviously I can, and I've enjoyed it immensely. And if any of you are interested in this fantastic book, I'm not on commission. The email, jeff@jeffrahm.com, jeff@jeffrahm.com. Get one for your office. You know, it's an absolute winner. Mention Elite and you obviously get a healthy discount. But ladies and gentlemen, Jeff in particular, it's been fascinating. It's been absolutely amazing. And guys, thank you for joining us. And I wish you all the very best over the next few days, weeks, months and years. Jeff, it's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck, Sunderland.
Oh, yeah, we've got a Wembley final soon, so another one. Let's see. But seriously, everybody, connect with me on LinkedIn. If you want copies of both books, I have got them on an offer. You must put Elite in the email, and then I'll sort that out offer for you. But seriously, stay connected. Tell me what you're going to do and what you've done from this session. This isn't just an hour's, after lunch. We're here for results. Keep in contact. Sid, it's been a pleasure to work with you, and I wish everybody every future success. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.